be going to, the building height is now going to 32 stories. That I think is totally wrong. And the materials, going from granite and natural materials and green landscape to a glass tower, again, is wrong. So, but I think for the use, I think that has to be, people here should sort of give their thoughts probably as to what we use it for. But community, people, accessibility, garden, restaurants, oasis, these are sort of things that I would like to see.
Yeah, Ken, if you talk about accessibility, take a look at the picture. This is the idea. This is the idea of government accessibility. In fact, the Highways Department has already been consulting the rest of the community now about building this footbridge across to I think this will be number 9 Queen's Road Central. Right? I mean, they're already proposing, well, even before the plan is decided, they're proposing to build a bridge somewhere linking to the new building.
What is that doorway?
This will be the new shopping center. This is CGO West Wing entrance existing. This is Battery Park and the wall. They said that they will keep all the wall intact, but somehow there will be a footbridge linking this new building, and apparently this will be the new shopping center entrance.
But that bridge doesn't even reach the top where the landscaped roof terrace would be. That only goes in halfway. That's just
I can speak to that. Right?
Yeah, so you go into the shop, buy your way up to the roof terrace.
Do I need a mic?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was living at the Helena May, I met someone who was living there in the 60s, and she said that the normal thing for the ladies there to do was to go into government offices, take the lift down to Queen's Road Central, go to work. They could come all the way home for the set lunch that was offered, and then they went back to work. Right now, if we built that footpath into the current West Wing and let the people start using it, you could probably get 5% of all traffic coming from mid-levels out of Central. If you can get them to drop off on Lower Albert Road and take this air-conditioned footpath, you could actually significantly reduce traffic into Central, because single occupancy or taxi vehicles are 50% of all the traffic going into Central at rush hour from mid-levels. You can do this immediately and have an immediate effect on traffic. From air ventilation, these sort of footbridge are a bad idea because they slow down the airflow and it's a very polluted area. But just open the lifts to the public immediately, and you can cut a huge amount of traffic into Central.
And you could still do that without a 33-story building on top of it.
Do it right now.
But let's have Kate.
I would like to add, this overhead footbridge is the masterpiece of Kelly Lam, because she said with this, she could create a piazza in the junction of the Queen's Road Central and the Icehouse Street. What a good idea, a piazza in that little piece of junction between the Icehouse Street and the Queen's Road Central.
Okay, yeah, Katie. Kate.
I'm Katie Law from the Central and Western Concern Group. I have to say that I share very much the fire of Winston. When the government first announced this plan, I was so angry and I felt so humiliated. Yeah, and the government, such a prestigious site, a site with dignity, that they can just hand it over to a developer without thinking about Hong Kong people. And what's a good, way to show that Hong Kong is finally ruled by developers, because the government hill is now handed over to developers. And that's, I was so insulted, I think. And that's, I think, one of the most important things is really to expose these lies. Because look at this brochure. many people actually compare it to a developer's sale brochure, those very misleading kind. And I have been thinking of complaining it to the Consumer Council, actually. We really have to expose, and I think Cannes has done a good job of putting so many labels on the various misleading images, that I really think that should be made public. Because it is now a consultation period, and it will end by the end of this month. It's actually a very short consultation. And if Hong Kong people and the general public is looking at the misleading information, that they are being misled to think that it is a conservation project, they are misled to think it is a greening project, then I think the whole consultation is illegal. Because what Li Yun said just now, the government has actually put in an image showing that the future corner of Queen's Road Central and Icehouse Street will be a piazza without traffic lights, no traffic, and people walking there, leisurely.